Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Admissions Sharing webinar, where we share about interdisciplinary pathways, special programs, research and entrepreneurship opportunities, as well as the vibrant campus and student life at NUS that will transform your future. I'm Alex, and I'll be your MC for today. Thank you for taking time to join us. The sharing you will hear this morning will be presented by the Dean of Admissions, Professor Goh Se Song. Following his presentation, there will be a Q&A segment, and we have specially invited two NUS international students to share their experiences. If you have any questions, we greatly appreciate if you could please write them down in the Q&A tab, and we will answer them during the Q&A segment. Thank you for your patience. To begin the session, I'd like to first introduce our speakers. Professor Goh Se Song is the Dean of Admissions at the National University of Singapore. A mathematician by training, he received his BA Honours degree from the University of Oxford in 1988 and his MSc and PhD degrees from the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor in 1990 and 1992, respectively. He joined NUS's Department of Mathematics in 1994. He is highly passionate about education and has received numerous teaching awards, including the University Outstanding Educator Award in 2009. His research interests are on the theory and applications of wavelets, approximation theory, and harmonic analysis. And he also participates in interdisciplinary research involving the practical use of mathematics. May I now invite Prof. Goh to share the NUS experience, important considerations when selecting your degree program, global opportunities, as well as the process and timeline of admissions application. Prof. Goh, please.
Thank you, Alex, and a very warm good morning to all of you. Now, it is really my great pleasure to have the opportunity to speak to all of you this morning. You know that I know that all of you sign up for this webinar from different parts of the world, and I believe that many of you are already waiting eagerly, and we hope that this will be a very interactive session. So feel free to type your question under the Q&A tab while I'm giving the presentation. I have a team of colleagues here who will help to type the answers to your pressing questions. And while I'm speaking, at the same time, feel free to use the reaction button so that you can inform me or inform my team about what are the topics that is of great interest to you. So let me get my slides up and let's get going. Okay, so once again, for those of you who have just joined, welcome to NUS. And many of you come to this webinar because you are now at a very important juncture of your life. You are almost going to finish your high school either this year or next year or even like 2 years later. It's time to plan ahead. It's time to give thoughts about what you want to do at the university. Now, the first thing is that many of you came with undecided mindset yet. You're not sure exactly what degree programs you want to pursue at the university, hoping to find answers to this question. So let me help you. Let me ask you 2 questions back in return. What is your passion? What is your aptitude? Passion and aptitude are these 2 very important factors that will actually help you to decide what degree programs that you should pursue at the university. If you're passionate about something, most likely you're good at it. If you're good at it, most likely you want to find out more. And these 2 things will actually lead you to pursue your knowledge and through the university education, acquire the future-ready skills. At the end of the day, your first job after your graduation, most likely it will be related to what you study at the university. Now, I'm sure you will agree that you want to go to your job, you want to look forward going to working, so passion and attitude is going to be very, very important. Let's settle another question. After I've decided what I want to study at the university, then the question is, where should I pursue this degree that I'm looking for? Where should I go for this study? So what are the factors that you should take into account when you choose a university education? Now, firstly, of course, that university that you have chosen it should match your passion and aptitude. It should offer the program that match your passion and aptitude. That's the first thing. Another thing is that, how about the reputation of the university? And going overseas to study is living in a different country. How do you, is this the environment of the university, the environment of the country? Is that suitable for you? That is another consideration. And of course, all these degree programs that you're looking for, probably you will actually find it in many, many universities. So exactly how the university incorporates implements the curriculum, the pedagogies used to deliver the classes, this is another aspect that one should look at. And many of you are aware, I'm sure your teachers have also told you, the world is now much more complex. The complex problems of tomorrow, the complex problems of a VUCA world actually requires interdisciplinary knowledge. You need to know about more than just the discipline that you are in. You need to be able to communicate and work with people from different disciplines. So that's where interdisciplinary learning opportunities will be very useful. And many of you are considering going overseas to study. That's where global learning opportunity comes in. And can you have even further global perspective apart from that university you are in? And last but not least, many of you are thinking about your future career preparation, internship opportunities. All these are important considerations in choosing university. The fact that you came to this webinar, I think many of you are thinking about, I should consider studying in Singapore. Then let me tell you a little bit more about living in Singapore for those of you who have not been to Singapore before. And if you like the weather in the summer of your country, good news. You will enjoy studying in Singapore because Singapore is a tropical sunny island and this is right at the equator. We are a multiracial, multicultural society. We have 4 different races essentially in Singapore, or 4 groups. One are the Chinese, which forms the majority, the Malays, the Indians, and others. So this forms a multiracial, multicultural society. And we live together in harmony. And the official languages, we are actually having 4 official languages: English, Mandarin, Malay, and Tamil. Now, not to worry that if you can't speak all 4 of them, because there is a common language, English, that link the 4 languages, the people of different races together. And the medium of instruction in the National University of Singapore is actually English. And staying in Singapore, you actually have easy access to the neighboring countries. We have one of the best airports in the world. We are well connected. Malaysia is next door. Indonesia, Thailand, they are all nearby. And let's say taking a flight to India, taking a flight to China, all these can be done within a few hours. And how about the Singapore's transport, healthcare, and safety? Now, you need to get around the country. So the transport system, we have a world-class, very efficient public transportation system. We have what we call MRT, Mass Rapid Transit. This is our subway, our train system. And we have public buses, we have taxis, and we have ride-hailing services as well. Now, healthcare is something that we take great pride in. We have one of the best healthcare systems in the world. They are public hospital, they are public polyclinics, they are also private clinics. And essentially, if one is unwell in Singapore, not to worry, you'll get access to see a doctor very easily, very quickly. Probably within half an hour, you can walk inside a private clinic and a doctor will attend to you. And so this is actually, healthcare is something that you do not have to worry. And of course, for the parents who are sitting in the audience, you may be worried about the safety of the country. Singapore is one of the safest countries in the world. Very often, you see people walking alone at night. There are no serious issues, and people are feeling very safe in Singapore. And of course, what are the universities' experience in Singapore? Welcome to the NUS experience. Let me take this opportunity to welcome all of you again. And let me start off by giving you a snapshot about the learning opportunities offered by NUS. Now, NUS, in terms of QS World University ranking, in 2024 ranking, that was the first time that NUS came in within top 10 in the world. We were number 8 in the world, and we're very excited and humbled by this recognition by our by QS World University ranking. And we're very glad to see that in 2025 ranking and the 2026 ranking, we maintain our number 8 position in the world. NUS is a research-intensive, comprehensive university, and we take in more than 7,000 undergraduate students each year. And because of our size, we're able to offer a wide range of bachelor's degree programs, which we offer more than 60 bachelor's degree programs. And again, because of our size, we're able to have a very vibrant student life. We have more than 200 clubs and societies and interest groups. And although some students may be concerned that Singapore is at the equator, do the students at NUS get a chance to have a global exposure? The answer is a resounding yes. We have more than 350 partner universities spanning over 40 countries that our students can spend one semester as a student exchange program or even 1 year. And in terms of employability, NUS is consistently within top 10 in the world for global employability. And some of you may say that the overall ranking of NUS is very high. How about the individual subjects? I think many of you in the webinar here are looking at individual subjects. So what are the subjects that NUS is strong in? Now, if you look at the global top 10 for the QS World University ranking by subject, we have a total of 22 subjects in global top 10. And that is the highest that we have obtained so far. And among the 22 subjects, you notice that this is among the top 10, it is well spread out. And you see that our engineerings are very strong. You can see chemical engineering in the list. You can see electrical and electronic engineering. You can see mechanical and aeronautical engineering. So engineering, we are very strong. Our computing is also very strong. Our computer science and information system is ranked number 4 in the world. And our sciences, you can see that chemistry is ranked number 7, mathematics is within top 10, statistics and operational research are also within top 10. So you can get a sense that we are very strong in the STEM discipline. How about the non-STEM discipline? I'm pleased to say that our business and management study is ranked number 8 in the world, and you can see that other areas also like marketing is ranked number 6. And for the humanities, geography has always been our strength and is still our strength with number 6 in the world. And then, of course, linguistics and so on and so forth. So as a strength of a comprehensive university, our strength is actually evenly spread out in the disciplines that we offer. And if we extend the list to global top 20, then we are looking at 36 subjects. That's almost most of the subjects that we cover in the university. And let me tell you a little bit about the NUS story. Now, if you look at my slides on the top right-hand corner, you see that NUS 120. Yes, 2025 is the year that we are celebrating our 120th anniversary. NUS was founded in 1905, a very humble beginning. And we were Singapore's first and now the largest university. And over the years, we have taught generations of architects, doctors, engineers, and lawyers, and so on and so forth. And being a research-intensive university, our research impact lives. We have peaks of excellence across interdisciplinary research, and at the same time, we're conducting research of global impact that support the national objective. At the same time, we also brought research from application to commercialization. And this is what NUS has been doing. And we are also constantly revamping our curriculum to bring the best educational experience to our students. And talking about keep on improving our curriculum, in 2025, this year, we realized that AI, artificial intelligence, is something that is impacting all sectors of society. So we have actually we have put in new programs, new learning opportunities about artificial intelligence. So this year in 2025, we have actually launched two new majors in artificial intelligence. One is a computing degree, a major in artificial intelligence. There is another degree that we launched in the same year, an engineering degree that is a major in robotics and machine intelligence. You can see that the spread that we're having software, more software aspect like computing degree in AI, and we also have more hardware aspect about robotics and machine intelligence. But we do realize that AI, you can have a major, but AI impacts different parts of society. So there may be students who are actually, a humanities students, but the student needs to have some knowledge about AI as well. And we have various residential college, which I'll tell you a lot more later on. And this year, we also launched a new residential college, a place for you to stay and you can take some classes. And that is our fifth residential college, which focus on AI. So this is essentially AI plus X, where X is for other discipline, and X also could be the AI major or also could be the robotics and machine intelligence major. And this is actually exploring AI in different suite of life. Then if you ask me, how do I summarize the NUS education? Let me summarize the NUS education by the three C's. The first C is customizable. The second C is challenging. The third C is current. How you're going to make it work, that is entirely up to you. I'm going to show you how our student-centric, flexible curriculum works. But first, let me show you the wide range of undergraduate degree programs. Not to forget, I've highlighted in the beginning, we've offered more than 60 different undergraduate degree programs. We have what we call common admission program. On the application forms, there are a total of 8 choices that students can put down under single degree programs. And one of them is what we call humanities and sciences. And if you get into this humanities and sciences program, which I've highlighted in purple here, you can choose any of the majors in the arts and social sciences or any of the majors in science that I've highlighted in purple. Now, this provides a lot of flexibility for the student. Let's say the student is interested in psychology. Then the student can apply for humanities and sciences program. You can indicate your preferred major as psychology, and we'll have offered to tell you that you'll be offered psychology as preferred major. If you change your mind at the point of matriculation that you wanted to study another topic, not to worry, you can just go to the computer system and you just change your major, and we are guaranteed to give you any of those that is under the humanities and sciences. So this is the flexibility that we want to give our student. But of course, there are other programs like food science and technology, pharmaceutical science, or the cross-disciplinary programs. These are individual choices that is on the application form. You can fill that out accordingly. Our College of Design and Engineering also has a common admission program in engineering. Now, this is what I've colored in red. And the moment you got into the engineering common admission program, you can choose any of these. I know that some of you are very interested in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. As long as you're in the common admission engineering program, we will give you that major that you want. And robotics and machine intelligence is under this engineering common admission program. And certain programs like those in blue, these are direct admission like architecture, industrial design, or computer engineering. Our business school also went on the common admission framework under the common admission business administration. And the moment you got into this, you can choose any of the 9 majors offered by business school, including popular ones like accountancy, finance, and marketing. And our School of Computing this year actually had 2 common admission majors under the Common Computer Science programs. That is the new major on artificial intelligence and computer science. The other 3 majors, students applied directly. And we have professional schools like medicine, dentistry, and law. And we even have a music school. Students who are interested in healthcare, you can consider pharmacy and nursing. Let me take this opportunity to explain to you the hallmarks of an NUS education. Typically, the NUS education students will study a total of 40 courses over the 4 years of candidature. So if you think about 40 courses over the spread of 4 years, that means on average, you take 10 courses per year. Now, these 40 courses here, we spread it out into 3 different baskets. The first basket is what we call a common curriculum. Now, it can be 10 to 13 courses. And what is this common curriculum? The common curriculum is to provide a rigorous, broad-based intellectual foundation that will expand your learning capacity. Our common curriculum is actually tailor-made to the faculty that you are in. For example, the College of Design and Engineering has one set of common curriculum that's suitable for design and engineering. College of Humanities and Sciences has another set that's suitable for humanities and sciences. And then there is a second basket, major requirements, and that is 15 to 20 courses, again, depending on the major. Now, if you add up the major requirements and the common curriculum, you will realize that the grand total is less than 40 courses. Why is this the case? We did it by design. We purposely created a third space called unrestricted electives, 10 to 12 courses. That is what I call the fun part. That is the flexible pathways that we want to give it to you. Like, for example, if the student aspires to be a mathematician, like myself, the students doing 15 courses as a mathematics major feels that that is not enough. The student wants to go deep into mathematics. Then the student can actually use the remaining 12 courses for unrestricted electives and take entirely mathematics courses. And that will give a student a total of 27 courses out of 40 courses in mathematics. That gives students deep expertise in mathematics. That is something like the strength of a UK university will give it to you. On the other hand, if the student wants a broader kind of learning experience, they can use the unrestricted electives and pursue other areas with a double major, a second major, or minor in another discipline. That is the strength of the US university. And with this flexibility, NUS being a comprehensive university, there's nothing to stop you from going to another faculty to do a second major and minor, and that brings up the notion of interdisciplinary approach in learning. And let me further illustrate this flexible and multiple pathways. So for example, and let's say we have a student decided to come to the School of Computing and pursue the major in artificial intelligence. The student will do the common curriculum of the School of Computing, which comprises 10 courses. The student does a major in artificial intelligence, 20 courses. There's a balance of 10 courses, unrestricted electives. The student want to explore. You can take some courses in humanities and sciences, take some courses in science, take some courses in business. That's up to the student. Student will graduate with a single major. On the other hand, the student wants to go deep in artificial intelligence and computing. The student can actually use the unrestricted elective space and take more courses in AI or in computing. Then the student will have deep knowledge in AI and computing, still under the framework of a single major. Nowadays, we all know that for AI is actually driven by big data. We need to harness the big data. We need to make good use of the big data to get the necessary insight. And that is where the student may say that as an AI major, I need to know something about data analytics. The student can go from the School of Computing to the Faculty of Science to pursue a second major in data analytics, 10 courses. That can be done. And the student will graduate with a double major. Primary major AI, second major data analytics. That is a double major combination. The other possibility is that the student wanted to know something about data analytics, but may not want to do all the way to a second major. Student can choose a minor, 5 courses in data analytics, and still have another balance of 5 courses to choose other things that the student is interested in. That is a major-minor combination. Finally, does that student realize that after learning AI as a primary major, complement with the data analytics as a minor, he got into the entrepreneurship mindset. He wants to found his own company. And that is where the student can actually go to the business school and do a minor, 5 courses of entrepreneurship. So the student will have 1 primary major and 2 minors. This is again under the major-minor framework. So in short, you can go beyond a single degree. You can do a double major, you can do a minor. If you do 2 sets of the primary major, let's say, just now I had the example, you do a primary major in psychology, you do another primary major requirement in life sciences. The student can get a double degree, 2 degrees, 1 degree in psychology, 1 degree in life sciences under the double degree framework. Our double degree doesn't take a total of 8 years. Instead, usually it can be done between 4 to 5 years, depending on which combination. And we also have joint degrees that is taught by NUS and our partner university. And some students work towards a bachelor and master degree together concurrently under our concurrent degree programs. And other enhancement that you can think of is like NUS College. Now, what is NUS College? Now, as I mentioned, NUS offers more than 60 different majors. Some students wanted to have a more broad-based interdisciplinary curriculum, like what you see in the liberal arts college in the US. Can this be done? The student will still do their chosen major, and at the same time, they take the NUS College interdisciplinary broad-based curriculum comprising of 14 courses that incorporate residential stay and small class learning. Essentially, you stay and you study together with friends in small class learning of different faculties together. How can we make this work? The reason is because the major requirements remains unchanged, but NUS College curriculum will replace some of the common curriculum and replace some of the unrestricted electives. And that is another enhancement that one can choose. Now, we want students to take full ownership of their learning. And we offer actually grade-free first year. We do understand that to go from an overseas country to Singapore or to go from high school to university, there is a gap. So in the first year courses that you are taking, if it turns out that you find that you like the grade, you can keep it, and that can be counted towards your GPA for your graduation. If you don't like the grade and you feel that you could have done better, you can always opt for the grade-free options, and then you will keep the academic units, but the grades will not be affected. Some students ask about research. Can you do research as an undergraduate in NUS? This is possible. We have the undergraduate research program. Approach a professor and say that you like to work with the professors. In your second year, this can be counted as one of the courses you're doing. If you enjoy the experience, you can do it again in your third year, and there's always a final year project. So if you enjoy research, there are multiple opportunities for you to be able to do research. And of course, we do know that learning is more than just what you get in the classroom. There is what I call a non-academic curriculum that students can actually learn beyond the classroom through the framework of what we call NUS 1. So that you can learn through student life, residential life, experiential learning, and internship, and so on and so forth. And this framework of NUS 1 will actually facilitate you to transit smoothly from high school to the university. And what are the global learning opportunities? Many of you are thinking about how can you see the world when you are in NUS. This is a summary about how you can make the world your classroom. We have the flagship student exchange program that the student can spend one semester or even up to 1 year in one of our 350 partner universities spanning over 40 countries. Now, before you go for the student exchange program, there will be an academic advisor that will help you to work through what are the courses you will take at the partner university, so all of them can be counted towards your graduation in NUS. And most importantly, the tuition fees that you'll be paying under the student exchange program is still NUS tuition fees, which is actually a lot more affordable. Some students feel that one semester is too long. Can you have a taste about studying in an overseas country? You can go for our summer and winter program that you spend 4 to 6 weeks taking one course in the partner university. And we have another aspect about studying overseas called the NUS Overseas Colleges. This is a very interesting program that actually is for students who are interested to be an entrepreneur. We started this program more than 20 years ago. And what happens is that under the NUS Overseas Colleges, the student will actually have an internship in a startup for up to 1 year or 1 semester. And then at night, the student will take some classes on entrepreneurship in our partner university. More than 4,000 students have actually gone through the experience, and through the process, they founded more than 1,000 companies. So if you are interested about being an entrepreneur, this is something that you can definitely consider. And where can students actually do their entrepreneurship? There are more than 25 different places that we have the NUS Overseas Colleges. It could be in the Silicon Valley, in North America, it could be in Toronto, it could be New York. Europe, we have several places of NUS Overseas Colleges. China, we have 5 places, and as well as East and Southeast Asia. And of course, it doesn't mean that you have to go overseas to really enjoy the environment in NUS. We have a very vibrant and exciting campus life as well. And welcome to the NUS campus. Like I said, if you have not been to the NUS before, this is how it looks like. We have what we call the main campus, which is the Kent campus. Most of the faculties are there, and Kent campus is connected to what I call the university town, where there are classes taking place. There are also eateries, studies places, and residential colleges. And the Office of Admission, my office, is also in the university town. There are 2 other campuses. One is the Bukit Timah campus, where the School of Public Policy is there. And there is a Duke NUS campus at Outram. This is a graduate medical school. And there are 2 medical schools in NUS. One is the undergraduate medical school in Kent, and there's a graduate medical school in Outram Park campus. And we have very good facilities. We have free shuttle buses that will connect different parts of the campus. If you like books, we have state-of-the-art library and with a very wide e-collections. Lots of sports facilities, and we have 2 museums on campus too. For this is the Lee Kuan Chin Natural History Museum, that you have an entire full set of 3 dinosaur remains inside as well. If you come to NUS, do visit all these places. And for those of you who have not been to NUS, not to worry. You want to take a look at the campus? We have an online 360 degrees campus virtual tour. Feel free to visit this, and you can get to have a sense of how the campus looks like. And what are the places that students can stay on campus? Now, we do believe that trying to give students a wide variety of choices. The halls of residence, these are the places that students have a place to stay. There's a meal plan, and there are activities to develop you holistically. Then there's another type, which is the residential college, which I mentioned briefly just now about the AI residential college. There's a place to stay. There are activities going on and to develop you. At the same time, the student will take some classes in the residential college. 4 classes that can be counted towards your home faculty common curriculum. NUS College is a faculty on its own, and they have residential experience as well. Students can stay there, but the classes they have to take is a total of 14 classes. In your second year, you can consider staying in the student residences, less activities, no meal plan, but nevertheless, there is a rich cultural exchange there because you see students of different nationality. And last but not least, houses. This is another type, no meal plan, a place to stay, and it's thematic. There's safe places for co-creation, peer mentorship, focusing on well-being. This year, we launched another house called the Valor House. And this house focusing on sports. And guess what? The physical location of the Valor House is next to the sports complex. So whichever means that you find that is suitable for you, we have a choice for you to explore. And on campus, you make friends. You make friends who will cheer you on, will challenge you, and make your NUS life unforgettable. I'm sure that you'll find somebody of common interest with you about either music, arts or culture, sports, or community service. If you like, you can also found your own special interest group. And we take the health and well-being and safety of our students very seriously. We have a university healthcare services that you can see a doctor if you're unwell. And we have campus security, making sure that the campus is safe, although Singapore is already a very safe country. And we take student wellness. We have various means of supporting students in their wellness. And we prepare students for future employment. We have a Center for Future Ready Graduates that organizes programs, workshops, fairs, and events to prepare you for employment. We don't engage you in just only the final year. We engage you as early as your first year. And so that we want you to plan and think through what are the things that you want to do. And we incorporated professional internship in most of our degree programs. Whether is it compulsory or optional, this is something that is very important. And because of all the resources that we put in about students' employment, we're doing very well in terms of graduate employment. And under this Global Employability University Ranking and Survey, the results just came out very recently for 2026, and NUS came in number 8 in the world. On the local front, we have what we call the Joint Autonomous University Graduate Employment Survey, and 90% of our graduates found a job within 6 months after graduation. And after saying all this, what are the things to take note when you apply to the university? I've gone through the questions that were submitted when you sign up for the webinar, so I'll try to answer some of them with respect to the qualifications you're looking for. Firstly, before you apply, because you have 8 choices to put down, choose your 8 choices wisely. Check the program prerequisite. Like, for example, if you want to study engineering, make sure that you have year 12 or higher level in mathematics. Check the prerequisite. And we recognize more than 30 different international qualifications. And our application portal for these international qualifications will open on the 3rd of December. IB will open on 17th of December. So go to our website, look for the qualifications that you are presenting, and look at the requirements. I'll highlight some of those that is more common, and I'll go through it with you so that to give you a sense. Now, how do we decide on the student's aspect about admission? As far as admission is concerned, it's based on a holistic approach that includes academic merit, meeting program prerequisites, and also your interest and your aptitude. Now, regardless of the qualifications that you're presenting, we take the same holistic approach. So the first cut we look at your results. Like for IB applicants, we look at your IB results. If your results are very outstanding, and based on the results, we are able to give you an offer. We'll give you the offer immediately. And however, we do know that it's very, very competitive to get into the university. So sometimes the results are good, but we're not able to make an offer yet. And then this is where we will actually look at your other attributes, your achievements, your aptitude for the intended major. And then we'll consider you holistically together with your academic results. So on the application form, you have to fill out 5 short response questions, which I'll talk more about this. List four achievements, highlighting your accomplishments beyond grades. And for IB students, there is a first choice bonus point. So pick your first choice wisely. So let me give an example. Suppose that you are interested in humanities and sciences, and you have an IB points of 43. If you put humanities and sciences as your first choice, that 43 will be counted as 44 points. But as a second choice, then you'll go back to 43 points. So choose your first choice wisely. Other qualifications that we have, let me list some of the common ones, like international A-level. Now, international A-levels, it could be Cambridge A-level, it could be all the other international A-level boards, and we're looking for 4 or more advanced level subject. We only look at final results. So we do not actually look at predicted results. And for the applications to be competitive, most of the grades should be A star. And you can combine 2 sittings together within a 12 months period. You can also combine sittings of 2 different international A-level boards together. Now, how about for students who will actually complete the final exam after the closing dates? Now, because our academic year starts in August, so for students presenting the international A-level that the result will only come out in the middle of August, then you have to supply with standardized tests. And standardized tests, there are several different options, which I'll elaborate further later on. Indian Standard 12, this is something that we have many students applying. And for the Central and the ISC boards, and we will look at the Indian Standard 12 exam results, and you should have a good pass in 5 subjects, including English. And if you have not graduated yet, you apply with the latest high school results, and when the results are out, send us the final result for Indian Standard 12. And for Malaysian students who are presenting the STPM, you apply with the STPM exam results. To be competitive, you need at least a B for all subjects. And the English requirement, you can submit your myriad scores of at least 240. For the UEC students from Malaysia, you apply with your UEC exam results, and we need a good pass in at least 5 subjects. There are several different ways of satisfying the English requirement. You can use IELTS, you can use TOEFL, whether is it paper-based or internet-based, or you can use EL 1119 or Myriad to apply accordingly. For Indonesian students, now there are 2 groups here. One group has already gotten the final result, the graduated group. Apply with the graduated, your final results, and apply with the English requirement. For the graduating grade 12 students that you have not graduated yet, please apply with your grade 11 semester 2 results and grade 12 semester 1 results. And we will consider your applications accordingly. And again, you need to supply the English test results. Vietnam National High School, similar arrangement. Either you apply with your graduation result plus your school grade 12 overall results with the English requirement. If you are not graduated yet, grade 11 SEM 2 results plus grade 12 SEM 1 results, and English requirement is there too. For Chinese students, reading 高考. Now, 高考 results, if you have the final one, of course you send in. But for those of you who are in SM2 that you have not graduated yet, you're taking Gaokao in July, Gaokao next year, then you apply with your latest high school results and we'll make an admission decision after the release of your Gaokao result. And you can satisfy the English requirement with any of these. For Gaokao students, some of you may have taken the AST subject administered by Cambridge. And if you have it, do send it in to us. This is optional, but if you have it, do send it to us. Hong Kong DSE, you can apply with the final Hong Kong DSE exam results. If you are taking the Hong Kong DSE exam next year, do apply first, and then we'll consider the outcome after the release of the Hong Kong DSE result. We look at 3 core subjects plus 2 elective. The core subject should be at least level 3 and including a level 4 for English. For Taiwan Senior High School, there is a scholastic test, GSAT. Apply with this with at least 4 subjects, including English and mathematics. And again, you need to satisfy the English requirement. Thai Matayong, apply with the Thai Matayong results, and the overall GPA should be at least 3.7 to be competitive together with the English requirements. For Australian high school, now because this is conducted in English, you do not need the English requirement. Submit your ATA results and it should be at least 90 to be competitive. Canadian high school, now if English is not one of the subjects, then you need the English score. Otherwise, you do not need the English score, and we expect at least 90% for each subject taken at the diploma level to be competitive. And if the students have taken AP courses, then you can submit this to supplement, but this is of course optional. Now, finally, there are all kinds of other applications, qualifications that you may have, and this is where standardized tests comes in. Now, what kind of combination of standardized tests do we need? Now, there are 3 ways of submitting an application with standardized tests. One is you have at least 5 AP courses. The 5 AP courses, to be competitive, there should be mostly 4 or 5. And you can combine the 5 AP courses up to 2 sitting. And the AP courses should come from our acceptable AP courses list, and one of them must be AP Calculus BC. Second way, ACT writing plus at least 3 AP courses. And again, same requirement, Calculus BC is compulsory, and the 2 other acceptable AP courses up to 2 sitting. The third possibility, use SAT and 3 AP courses. So these are for other qualifications. And go to our website and you can find out more. And in terms of aptitude-based admission, like I mentioned just now, on the application form, you get to submit 5 short response questions and 4 achievement. And what kind of short response question? Now, if you look at our short response question, it's an opportunity for you to showcase your aptitude, passion, and interest. And if you look at these five questions there, it's about 600 characters, 4 to 5 sentences. We're not looking for fancy essay. We are actually looking for authentic reflection of who you are and what you have done. Like, for example, the first question talks about your prior preparation. Second question about your resilience. Third question about we want you to be reflective. Fourth question about your proudest achievement. And lastly, anything else you want to add. And do we have scholarships for international students? And we have various kinds of scholarship. For ASEAN nationality, we have the ASEAN undergraduate scholarship. For the Asian nationality studying a science STEM discipline, that means in science, engineering, and computing, and mathematics, you can be considered for the Science and Technology undergraduate scholarship. We have NUS International Undergraduate Scholarship for truly exceptional students. And if you are in NUS College, you can be considered for the NUS College International Scholarship. All these scholarships, you do not need to make a separate scholarship application. Eligible students will be automatically shortlisted based on your admission application, and we'll call you out for an interview. And just to give you a sense, all our scholarships are full scholarship. Covers to, like I give an example here about the ASEAN undergraduate scholarship. It covers tuition fees, there's computer allowance, and then there's living accommodation allowance, and also living allowance. Now, the key point about all this scholarship is that you have to have a 3-year tuition grant work obligation, which I'll mention in next. Now, what is this MOE tuition grant? Now, MOE tuition grant, MOE stands for Ministry of Education. This is a substantial tuition fee subsidies offered by the Singapore government. Essentially, it's offered competitively to international students admitted to NUS based on the merit of the application. And if you take up the MOE tuition grant, then you will actually have almost like about 50% discount in your tuition fees. So let me give you an example. Now, let's say the student is interested in computing and the full fees is about 39,000 Singapore dollars a year. But if you take up the MOE tuition grant, depending on whether you're ASEAN nationality or non-ASEAN nationality, the discount is at least about 50%. So this is a substantial tuition fee subsidies. And if you find that the financial aid is still needed for needy students, no worries. We have a wide scheme of financial aids here. Like, for example, we have bursaries for needy students, and we have loans for all students, like MOE tuition fee loans. And the annual cost of living in Singapore is about $6,000 a year. And of course, depending on lifestyle, and the accommodation allowance is about on campus for 35 weeks is 5,400. So this is just a sample. For example, we have a student in computing and stays in a residential college, ASEAN nationality, the per capita income, that means the total income of the family divided by the household member. So it's $1,000. Then suppose that the student take up the MOE tuition grant, and then these are the costs for accommodation and living expenses. Total amount about 30,000 Singapore dollars a year. Now, the student can get some tuition fee loan, study loan, student assistance loan. At the same time, there's some bursary. So at the end of the day, the total financial aid is about 17,000, and out of pocket, the student pay about 12,000 Singapore dollars a year. And these are some important dates to keep track on. Application portal will open on the 3rd of December. IB open on the 17th of December. 23rd of February, the application will close. And between March all the way to July, depending on the qualifications that you are presenting, there may be admission outcome, there may be scholarship interview, and the final outcome will be released by the end of July. If you need more information, you can join our mailing list to find out more. You can write in also to nus.edu/ask-admissions. Visit our website. There's a wide range of information there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Goh, for your sharing. We will now move on to the Q&A segment. We have especially invited 2 NUS international students, Mr. Teoh Yueh and Mr. Nathanael Mulyadi, to join in the session. Yueh is a third-year chemical engineering student from the College of Design and Engineering. An international student from Malaysia and an ASEAN scholar, he is also a dedicated NUS varsity chess player who represented the university in the Singapore Inter-Varsity Chess League. Beyond the board and the classroom, he serves as the welfare executive for the NUS Malaysian Students League, or MSL, where he facilitates key events like the exam welfare distributions and MSL 20th anniversary. In his free time, he enjoys performing music on the piano and violin, playing weekly badminton as a group facilitator, and sharing his knowledge through home tutoring. Stephen is a second-year student pursuing a degree in business analytics from the School of Computing, with a second major in quantitative finance. As an international student from Indonesia, he resides at Tembusu College and is actively involved in the campus community. He currently holds leadership roles as the Internal Affairs Director for the NUS FinTech Society and the Internal Vice President for Project Oceanus. Beyond his academic and leadership commitments, he enjoys staying active by playing badminton with the interest group at Tembusu College. With his passion in fintech, he also held a leadership role outside of the campus as the external vice president of Singapore FinTech Youth Chapter. I'll now hand the time over to Prof. Goh, who will be moderating the Q&A session. Prof. Goh, please.
Thank you, thank you. Now it's really nice to have two current students with me, and let's get our two students, Yueh and Stephen, to say hello to everybody. And maybe Yueh and Stephen, would you like to say hello to everybody first?
Yeah, hi guys, I'm Yueh, currently pursuing chemical engineering at NUS.
And Stephen, over
Okay.
to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Steven. I'm currently pursuing a double major in business analytics and quant finance.
Okay, Ziye and Stephen, I'm sure that many of you, both of you have gone through what many of the students here is going to go through now, making a choice, coming to NUS to study. So maybe I can first get Ziye to share about why he chose chemical engineering, how did he make this decision? And then also, Stephen, you can share about why you choose business analytics. I think that would be interesting.
Oh yeah, so I think when it comes to choosing what to study, I would ask myself, oh, do I have passion for this, or am I okay with the day-to-day working of a chemical engineer in the future? Yeah, and so chemical engineering actually makes use of physics, mathematics, chemistry, and also biology for problem solving and also troubleshooting. And I think I'm someone who loves to take up challenges. I love to solve problems and find a solution for them. Yeah, so at that point I thought, oh, chemical engineering would be a good fit for me. I also chose
Ah,
chemical engineering because it's actually quite a versatile degree. You can actually branch into many different areas such as pharmaceuticals, food technology, oil and gas, energy and sustainability, and also even semiconductors if you are interested. So it actually gives you a wide option of career options in your future. Yeah, and for those who are interested in studying chemical engineering, the department also offers a lot of specializations and also minors that you can deep dive to gain expertise in chemical engineering. Yeah, so for now, I'm doing a specialization in biopharmaceutical engineering and also a minor in hydrogen and in hydrogen and low carbon technology. So yeah, which I think is quite interesting. So yeah, for those who are interested, yeah, I strongly recommend chemical engineering. Yeah.
thank you,
Yeah.
yeah. How about
Yeah. Thank
Stephen?
you.
Why do you choose business analytics?
Okay, yeah, I think for me, it would be the same. So I think for my passion at the start it was more towards business, business and finance specifically from I think from JC coming from Singapore. I really like econs, so I think that's why I really wanted to go to business. But I also realized if I don't really take anything that has any relation with, for example, coding or programming, I won't be learning that myself. So I felt like I wanted to do something that can bridge the gap, the knowledge gap that I have in terms of I haven't really done any programming skills before. And I felt like I wouldn't be motivated to do it myself outside of like my own modules. So that's why I found business analytics to be the perfect fit between both. And I feel like with the big data and how nowadays it's really important for analytics, right? There's a lot of analyst roles as well. I think business analytics is a really great major for me to really break into all these analyst roles. So yeah, I still do thoroughly enjoy. I think I mean, it's definitely going to be a challenging major, but throughout my 2 years, I think I've definitely enjoyed some my time in Biz A, as well as I've learned a lot as well, a lot of new things as well. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. It seems that both Ziye and Stephen, they have actually done their homework, find out more. So I would really encourage the students here to actually attend the other sessions today to find out more about what they want to do. And you know that I think another pressing questions that students actually had is that how is it like studying in the university? How is it like studying in NUS? Ziye, you are already a third year student, so maybe you can share with us about how is it like, the transition from high school to university, and what is the learning environment like in NUS?
Oh yeah, so I think actually NUS is actually a very nice and very fun environment to to study for university. Yeah, so we actually get to share a learning environment with many students from all around the world. I have friends from Singapore, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, and many others. Yeah, and one thing I like about learning in NUS is also, like I think Prof. Gore mentioned earlier, is the interdisciplinary approach. So, you will not just take modules from your own faculty, but you can take modules from many other faculties, and, you can get to learn a lot from outside of your discipline. Yeah, so I think, yeah, and then I think one module I took, which really, really has a special place in my heart is, the community service module, where we actually go out to, plan activities and execute activities with the elderly seniors in Singapore, which I think is actually it's a quite meaningful and eye-opening experience. Yeah, so I think the overall NUS experience is very vibrant and also fruitful. And yeah, and as well, and also there's also a lot of CCAs for you to actually enhance your overall university experience and also maybe gain leadership opportunities. Yeah, so I really enjoy my NUS time as of now, and I'll continue to make good use of my last few semesters before I graduate. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear this. And just now you mentioned something about the opportunity to do interdisciplinary learning, something beyond your majors. And I noticed that Stephen actually did a second major in quantitative finance. And maybe I will let Stephen share about why he chose quantitative finance, and is it difficult to fit into the schedule of studying business analytics? Does it complement his study in business analytics?
Okay, yeah. I think for me, actually at first I did a minor in finance when I applied. But then I think after the first semester when I took the module, I really enjoyed it. That's why I changed it to a second major. So I would say between business analytics and quantitative finance, there's a lot of overlapping modules. Because some of them are really heavy in, for example, like math and statistics. And I myself, since I have passion in fintech, I really want to break into either quant or something more like basically banks, quant or investment banking. So I felt there was a need for me to take something more math and statistics, like a quantitative finance module. And I felt it complemented really well because business analytics is more of like implementations of
Mm.
it's more of like using the different programming languages and also doing like data analytics. But I think quantitative finance is more towards like the critical thinking side of it, because it's more hands-on. I mean, everything that we do is more like manual working rather than like using a laptop, which is I think something new for a computing student. So I think that's something that I like as well, and it really helped me as well in terms of understanding the kind of job that I really want to break into as well. So yeah, I think in terms of the workload, I wouldn't say it's more because I do use my unrestricted electives for my second major. So I feel like since they're very close to each other as well, I don't really need to learn like something completely new as well. Yeah, so my workload is still okay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So actually, Stephen has two very interesting points that I want to highlight. One is that he's looking at something that is related to his primary major and complement it. Students have the flexibility to do that. Like for his case, business analytic and then complement by quantitative finance. But if student wants to do something that's completely different, to have a different experience, that is also possible. The second thing that I want to highlight is that when Stephen comes in, he had a minor in quantitative finance. But then after he has gone through the process, he likes the module, he upgrades it to the second major. We are very flexible. We allow students to do this. And in fact, on the application form, you have the what we call a second list of multidisciplinary degree programs. We put down some popular options of double major, major, minor. These are not exhaustive. You can come in within the first 5 semester, you can still choose other second major, other minors as well. So that is just to give you a taste of it. It's like what I said, our commitment to the students. And one thing that I highlighted in my presentation that I think many students are interested in is that global employability, employment. Now, internship is a key. And yeah, I understand that you have done internship and you're going to do more internship. So maybe you can address this experiential aspect about learning at the university.
Yeah, so actually this summer in May, I actually spent it in at a Swiss MNC, which is Givaudan. For those who don't know, it's actually a flavor and fragrance production, and I think it's actually the world's largest company for that. Yeah, and I was fortunate to be a production intern there at the flavors manufacturing branch, where we actually develop and supply flavors to big brands such as Coca-Cola, Starbucks, McDonald's, Pepsi's, and many others. Yeah, and in my next semester, which is January, I'll be heading to MSD, which is a US MNC for pharmaceuticals. Yeah, so for talking about my experience in the summer, I think this internship really, it was really an eye-opening experience, and it really gave me insight and exposure to the real world, such as large-scale chemical processes, the work environment, hands-on experience, and also even learning how to be a good team player and how to work as a team. So, I think these internship opportunities really, offer the opportunity for students to actually bring the theory and knowledge they learn in their school and actually apply them in real-world scenarios. Sometimes in school, we may know this on theory, but when we come to the real-world scenario, how do you apply it? How do we make use of the knowledge we learned in university? Yeah, so I think the internship experience really gave me a taste of what working life is like and how to apply the knowledge learned in university. Yeah, so I think I was really grateful that I really liked the experience, and yeah, it really gave me a good taste of what work life is like.
So Ziye, you actually saw that all the chemical engineering concept you have learned comes
Yeah,
alive
yeah,
through your internship.
yeah.
Yeah, in fact, as a matter of fact, most of our students, international students, they have done at least one internship throughout their entire candidature. So this is something that I think many of us would be thinking of. And of course, just now in my presentation, I talk about make the campus your home. Now, Stephen, you have stayed in one of our residential college, Tembusu College. Can you share with our students here about how is it like to stay in Tembusu College?
Okay, yeah. So now is my second year in Tembusu College. So I would say first of all, living in campus, you'll definitely meet a lot of people that is living beside you. And I think this is a really great opportunity for you to find a platform for like a support system, as well as build long-lasting friends. I think as mentioned, NUS is a great place for you to meet a lot of people from different nationalities. And I felt Tembusu was actually one of the really good ones. So we're known to have a lot of exchange students as well as a lot of international students. So going around my floors, the different floors, I will get to meet like people from Malaysia, people from China, Thailand, Philippines, and even from America and Europe as well. So I think it's a really great opportunity for me to really learn their culture, talk to them, and play sports together. So in my hobbies, I mean, in my free time, I'll usually play badminton with them in Tembusu. So I think that's one of the things I really like and enjoy to do in Tembusu itself. But aside from this non-academic, we also do academic modules. So basically, as part of the UTown mods, we need to do 4 mods in Tembusu College itself. And I feel like in terms of the setting itself, it's much. I do like it because they do bring people from different disciplines into one class, and you're able to basically exchange perspectives from each one of them. I think it's something that you don't really get in faculties because in faculties you'll be off the same majors, but then in Tembusu or in any residential colleges you'll be able to really meet and communicate with people from different disciplines, and you realize that there's a lot of things that they think about differently from you, and that's a really big learning point for me in Tembusu College. So yeah, I think it's a really great place for stay in terms of learning other people's cultures as well as their perspectives as well.
I guess the residential college is like a snapshot of society, that you get to meet people of different discipline. And like I said during the webinar, you need to be able to work with people from different discipline, different background in the future. And just now you mentioned about, students from different nationality. I think some students here are, of course, concerned that if they come to Singapore, will they get homesick? Will they don't have enough friends? And I think we have a very vibrant student life. And there are various, maybe Ziye, you can tell us more about the different kinds of student life and also your role in NUS Malaysian Students League.
Yeah. So I was actually a Malaysian Student League welfare executive for the past semester. Yeah, and so our main role is to support and actually ensure the well-being of Malaysian students in NUS, to ensure that they are doing well, coping well with studies, And by doing so, we actually arrange various activities for them throughout the semester. So I think last semester, we actually facilitated the distribution of free acai to Malaysian students before the exam week. And we also have weekly sports sessions like badminton, basketball, table tennis, and also regular dinner invitations, to catch up on their progress. Yeah, so some main activities to keep out is also the university freshman outreach. We'll hold a 4 days orientation every semester, and we also have festival celebrations and also sports festivals as well. Yeah, and I was also fortunate to be the orientation group leader for one of the university freshman orientation. Yeah, so I think, yeah, NUS really, for the Malaysian Student League, we really provide like a home to the Malaysian students, because we know coming to Singapore, although it's like just a neighboring, but it's also it's also a new, another country. So some people may feel it's hard to transition, or it's maybe will feel homesick. So our aim is to actually provide, to provide a family feeling, and to care for the students in Malaysia. And also, I believe for other international students, there are also similar clubs available, like the Indonesian Society, Philippine Society, and many others, which I think are equally good. Yeah, for
So
international
our
students.
students need not worry. And in fact, at the university level, we also have an international student coordinating office that actually organize, onboarding events for students as well. And of course, I mean, taking good care of our students is one aspect. We also want our students to have impact to society. And Stephen, can you tell us more about your this project Oceanus that I find it very interesting? And how does this actually what are the things you have done there, and what are the learning points from this project Oceanus?
Yeah, so I think just to give some context, so Project Oceanus, we are overseas volunteering organization. So it's under the environmental engineering, basically under the environmental engineering faculty. And what we do there basically is we, in any ASEAN countries, but currently we're focusing on Laos, what we do is basically we increase awareness about sustainability. So what we did last year when I went there in May was actually to create solar power lamps and to also dig water pipes for the villages there. So I feel like from this experience, I learned more about how us living in Singapore and studying in Singapore, we do have access to a lot of things in terms of our facilities, in terms of our transportation. But for some countries in Southeast Asia, like Laos, for example, they don't really have that much access. So what we really learned from this, firstly, knowing more about sustainability ourselves, which is the main goal of the organization. But I think secondly is to also be more grateful of what we have, as well as see how can we actually contribute to society or even oversee society in some other ways. So I'm actually continuing for a second year now because I really enjoyed my time there and getting to know the residents there, even though there was a language barrier. But I think it's a really good break as well as a good learning point for me outside of just learning academics, but it was also complemented by volunteering as well, which I deeply enjoy doing as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Stephen, for your sharing. I'm so glad to see that, what NUS has given our students is not just academic programs. We couple it with ways of developing students holistically as well, as an individual or as well as impact to society. And thank you very much to Yueh and Stephen. And in the interest of time, I will close this Q&A. I'll pass the time back to Alex to conclude the session. Over to you, Alex.
Thank you, Prof. Goh, Yueh, and Stephen for sharing your experience, insights, and sound advice. I hope they have managed to answer your questions and clarify your doubts. With that, we have come to the end of the webinar. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope this session has been helpful. We know that many of you have signed up for the respective sharing sessions in the day ahead, and we wish you a fruitful time, gathering insights about the transformative experience and endless opportunities that will await you at NUS. If you have yet to register for the various events, sign up now and hear from the respective colleges, faculties, and schools. You may refer to the session schedule via the QR code or the link provided. We also greatly appreciate if you could take a few minutes to fill out a feedback form. You may scan the QR code or access the link on the screen. Your feedback is important to us. Please let us know how we can improve. Thank you once again, and we look forward to receiving your application and warmly welcoming you to NUS. Have a pleasant day ahead.